Hello everybody out there, and welcome back here to the Super 8 Movie Show. My name is Gary, and today we're going to be continuing our look at the Super 8 movie collection in part 3 with Ken Films. Now, Ken Films started late back in 1960s by a guy called Bob Lane, and at the time he wanted as many films as possible to be brought out under his name. So he did deals with such studios as Paramount Studios in 1973 and United Artists. And he wanted to get as many films put out under the 200-foot format and 50-foot format for the mass market. And he did very, very well. Moving on from that, he started to go into the full feature films as well as the 400-foot films here, as you see with Star Wars. And then at the end of the life with Ken Films, I think it ended up with United Artists. Apparently this was the last one ever to be made, which was the Empire Strikes Back Part 1 and 2. That's what I hear anyway, that it was the final thing that they ever made. Now, what I like about Ken Films is their design for their artwork here. As you see, it's got the famous yellow border with the red Super 8 stamp on it. And not only that, the artwork is fantastic on here. I don't know if it was hand-drawn or if it was from a poster. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it's very eye-catching and it makes you want to watch that movie. Such films as the Godzilla films, Destroy All Monsters with Rodan. I've got a few more of them. We've got Konga, kind of maybe a take on King Kong, and I know they had a bit of copyright trouble with that in the day. Phantom Planet, movies from the 60s, It Came From Outer Space, Frankenstein movies, War of the Worlds. This artwork is fantastic. Some came with sound, some were silent, mostly in black and white, some were colour. Then we've got the United Artists ones here with their logo on it, and they changed their box art to just a one-piece box instead of a split box. When you got your films, you got this little catalogue inside to tell you what Ken Films was all about. And as you can see here, there's a nice little fold-out. They had films from Paramount, Love Story, War and Peace, Monster Madness films, as you see, and I don't really have to tell you much more about that because I have an abundance of them. Action movie films, of course you've got Zorro, Son of Zorro, Curse of the Scorpion, films way before my time, but I bet they were great in the day. Horror films, you've got your Dracula films, Frankenstein films, I think everybody had those ones. And of course your science fiction films, you know, The Mysterious Dr. Satan and D-Day on Mars. Very interesting. On the other side, we've got abundance of cartoons here. We've got Heckle and Jekyll, Bugs Bunnies, we've got Mr. Magoo's, we've got Dick Tracy's and Mighty Mouse. A bit more variety than what Castle Films would offer. Then over here you've got your feature films with John Wayne, Errol Flynn, Dillinger, you've got Tarzan and Humphrey Bogart. Full feature films, I've not really seen many on the market nowadays, but I guess they're in collectors' hands as well. And of course you've got your old-time comedies over here. So, a good little range of that. But then when United Artists took over Ken Films, they brought out their own little catalogue here in the same type of format. And of course they went along the same lines, but they added a lot more here, with more science fiction things here, like Steve McQueen and the Blob, My Son the Vampire. They love their vampire films. And of course then we had the green box style here with such films as Equinox in it, and Captain Mesto and the Transformation Machine. Yeah, don't know about that one. More Mr. Magoo, Gulliver's Travel, and a lot more horror here to come. The Human Monster. Yeah, I bet these were very interesting to watch in a day. I don't have all of them, but I have seen many out there, and I'm a big collector of the monster movie films. Going back to looking at one of their last film prints, was the Empire Strikes Back Part 1 and 2. These are very good condition, these ones, except for the boxes, they're a little bit tatty. But, you know, they're a bit hard to come by nowadays. But anyway, everybody, these is just some of my collection of Ken Films and everything. I got literally hundreds back there. I'm also in the market for buying and selling films, so if there's something that you may be interested in, just send me a message and let me know. And if you've got something to trade, same back here. I'm always buying and trading these films, and my goal is to collect as many monster films as possible, because I'm a movie maker myself, and it does give me a lot of inspiration to make certain films using some of their techniques to be more of a comedial way. That's what I like. But that's it for this part. In the next part, we're going to be looking at Walton Films and having a brief look and see what they got to offer. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Goodbye.